And we're live. The farm is back. We're inside this time.
Back in the shackles, our prison.
yeah.
The shackles are real on a Monday morning. Already been busy in the weeds, ready to break down the slate. Got the flagship 111.
It's a small slate too. It's 7 games, which is kind of nice, honestly. It's a little, but it'll be a quick slate to break down. There's going to be some trades, and so pitchers could move. That's all I was just talking to you about. Michael King may get moved. They pushed his start from yesterday to today, and some people think it's just because they think he may get moved, but we'll see.
I don't really like him on the slate, but yeah, it would definitely change some things if he's going to be in there.
He's been better lately. I would say this. Like I don't hate him on the slate at 7.5 or no, he's 7. Yeah, he's 7.5. I think it's a fair price for like what he's been lately. Is he safe? Definitely not. But look, the production lately has been pretty. Honestly, like pretty much the last 7 games, you'll take those points at that price. So, damn, that goose is crazy. She's honking. Yeah, I will get into it though. There's like a clear ace from a DFS perspective, and then outside of that, there's not.
Yeah, the clear ace is you'll see him in the 111 attack that tonight, and I'll let you know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
It's a perfect time not to get a little contrarian. It's wrong because this guy's in the running, and we'll start there. Let's just start in that game. Cam Schindler on the mound for the Yankees. They're hosting the Cardinals here. You just know how much of a fanboy I am of the Cardinals, but this is the perfect spot on a 111 to get leverage. Schindler's going to be 40, 50, 60% owned on this slate. I'm stacking the cards on a couple 111s, I think. They're expensive. They're not worth the price. In Yankee Stadium, if Cam doesn't bring his best stuff, we know the cards can get to anyone. And in a part that does play up to power, I think Jordan Walker could go Oppo Taco a couple times tonight. So, and that's just me, Jordan Walker, first week of best ball. Wish casting. But I
told you this already. This happened to me last season. You're already doing it. They won in just the quarterfinals.
You know what's funny though? Out of my 50% of my teams don't have jaywalks. So I don't really.
Has it kicked out yet?
What?
It hasn't kicked out. You can't see.
No, but I went through. But maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 75% of my teams have them. But what I was going to say is it is a good contrarian spot, though, because what are the Cardinals? What is Jordan Walker going to be owned against Cam Schindler?
No, I'm with you. I don't like – so I think Cam Schindler is the clear ace, but, like, I won't play him because I do think St. Louis doesn't strike out a ton. Like, even Cease had struggled with St. Louis a little bit, right? He still pitched decent, but, like, yeah, I'm with you. I kind of like St. Louis. I'm glad you're doing that. I think they'll be – because of the lack of options, Cam Schindler is going to be 40 to 50% owned. I think not playing him is just as good as, like, playing St. Louis in this spot. Like, I think he is going to be so high owned. St. Louis –
yeah, and I don't want to interrupt you there, but just look at the prices. Like JJ Weatherholt is $5K at second base. So people are just not going to go there. Jordan Walker is 5.5 in the outfield. Like people just won't go there. So for the leverage is going to be, I mean, I can see Jordan Walker, JJ Weatherholt being a combined 4% on this slate.
Yeah, it could be even lower. If I did that, I would 5-man stack it. Like I would full send St. Louis in New York Stadium because it's like
I like Tampa and the wind's blowing in Tampa, but it's just like it's the perfect. If I play the Cardinals, I can play whoever else I want at chalk, right? Like if I play the Cardinals and fade Cam Schindler, I can play whoever else I want. Yeah. With the full caveat being, there's going to be Cam Schindler teams. I think I'm building 3 to 4. I'm going to play some Cam. I can't fade it because it's more than likely he goes out and puts up 25 to 30 points, but. And the off chance the Cardinals get to him, I'm going to be alone on that island. A couple people will do it. A couple people have balls. They'll jump on too. But
it's not that. It's just people that max enter the tournament. What is the max entry tonight?
I think it's 150.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People that do that are going to be like they'll have because people use optimizers. They'll have the cards on teams. But
it's just leverage in the same spot, right? You see Michael McGreevy on the other side, not a very good pitcher. Put up the cool Chris -12 last start out. So the Yankees are going to be high owned.
I love the Yankees too. I love the Yankees.
And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, right? But I just looking at this spot, I was like, man, it really is interesting for me in this spot to say, hey, what if the Cardinals can get to him here? So it is something I'm looking forward to, stacking and just turning off, and hopefully I'm just not dead wrong. But the Cardinal stack is a high leverage point for me on the slate.
It'll be a fun game to watch for sure. I think there'll be offense. I think I'm more on the Yankee side. I think like I'm not gonna play Cam. I'm gonna fade Cam. I think St. Louis can get to him, but if they get to him for 3 to 4 rounds, like that will be a win for not playing Cam, but it won't be a win for the St. Louis side. So,
and a contrarian thing to do it in the same breath is like to play Cam play Seymour and play 1 or 2 bats with the Cardinals in the chance that they get a couple, because it's a small enough slate where you can play bats against your pitcher. It just is. Especially when the pitchers can. So
I don't do it.
We're talking tournament tactics, and this is a good tournament tactic to pull a lever on. But is it the directionally correct play? Probably not. But something I'm definitely gonna do.
Right now I do have I've already built a couple mock teams. I do have a 5-man Yankee stack. I like the Yankees here. I think they'll be appropriately owned, but we have a Coors game, so there'll be more ownership going to Coors. I like Tampa too, so it's not like I'm going to be avoiding that spot. But
talking about bad fits, Louis. Yeah, can I talk about the trade here? Like Luis Garcia coming in here makes no sense. He's only 26, but they don't need another DH first baseman. Like Goldschmidt, Rice, Stanton's going to come back. Where is he going to play? Like, it just, some of these trades have made no sense to me. This is one of them. It's like, man, the Nationals are a rebuilding team. Garcia's only 26, having his best year, selling high, sure. But I just don't like that. I don't really like the trade all around. And I think they got mostly pitching prospects coming back, which is fine. Yeah. I don't really like it for them. I don't like it all around. I think the Yankees could have used a better third baseman, right? Like, focus on that. And I don't think they're going to slide Jazz over. I don't see them sliding Jazz over. So Luis Garcia is going to play DH. And it's only going to hurt his outlook. I think it's really bad for him because he's definitely not playing against lefties.
I mean, but this is the bull case for it is this. Goldschmidt's been horrible lately, and the Yankees organization knows that. And Luis Garcia has been much better than Goldschmidt.
But this is the caveat though, right? Like Goldschmidt will be in there against lefties where Luis Garcia will not be. So it's like, yeah, I understand that, but he's not taking Goldschmidt's spot. It's still a lefty.
I know, but he will. But they've been having to throw Goldschmidt out there in spots they don't want to throw him out there. That's what the Yankees
against
did.
righty. And good.
Yeah, so it's like,
but Garcia is not going to get as much playing time. I bet you he sees far less playing time here than he did.
But for the Yankees, it's more about depth at the position and getting Goldschmidt out of the lineup every day is the one for them. So I like this game from an offensive perspective. I think Yankee St. Louis is a fun spot to get to. St. Louis is definitely super fun. I'll be avoiding Cam just given that he's the clearest option, and I think condensed ownership on a slate like this is it's just easy for me to move away from that. Let's get to the next game. So we have Pittsburgh visiting Milwaukee. We have Bubba Chandler on the mound for Pittsburgh and Brandon Sproat for Milwaukee. I think this is a pitcher pass game to me. Bubba Chandler has shown some upside recently. The strikeout stuff is still there. He does walk too many guys, and he's kind of picked up that third strike ability lately, which is great. Brandon Sproat is not a great deal. I think straight up the $1,400 discount that you'll get on Chandler, I think just makes him the better play. Milwaukee's a better offense. That's the concern. And Pittsburgh's back end is somewhat weak. I think Brandon Sproat just doesn't get enough strikeouts. He's had that one elite performance, but no strikeout in the profile. Just not at 8Ks. It's too thin. He would need to be low 7s, high 6s for me to consider him. I do like Bubba Chandler as a cheap SP2 though. When you're looking at him and guys out in cores Ian Seymour or I think there's another pitcher I saw. Maybe we'll get to who's the other guy in the slate I was looking at? Michael King, I guess. But Bubba Chandler to me as an SP2 is interesting. So that's where I'm leaning here, Dylan. No bats. I think Bubba Chandler's in play. I think you could technically play Sprout too because of how thin pitching is, but I'm going to be avoiding bats here.
Yeah, bar none. I mean, Ian Seymour is my favorite pitcher on the slate at 6'9". So I don't want to barely lead there, but yeah, in this spot, I mean, Bubba Chandler is a Pandora's box. It could just give you a generational curse and just sink your lineups. Or it's what is he going to show up and do? Because he has strikeouts, right? Yeah. And we know that's in his arsenal. But we know Milwaukee's very pesky. They're going to make him work. I don't see him going deep here, but if he gets 6-7 strikeouts, it could be good enough. And that's really the sell case for or the buy case for Schittler. Is just, man, there's not a lot of safety in pitcher tonight. Sproat's fine. Pittsburgh's getting healthier too. I think Ono is going to be back this week or next. Doesn't matter in today's game, but yeah, both pitchers are fine in this spot. I'm just going to be passing on this game as far as bats are concerned. Not going to be playing stacks in this game. I could be talked in an SP2, but not really a strong lean. It's just going to see what fits. Ian Seymour is going to be a priority tonight. And let's say I pay up for those St. Louis bats, obviously in a bad spot, and pay up for the Coors bats. I'll probably land on, in this range. So I'll be looking at Bubba, looking at Sproat.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, avoiding bats. Hopefully this is not the game you need. Let's go to another pitcher's park. We're going to Globe Life. We have Logan Webb on the mound for San Francisco and Cal Quantrill on the mound for Texas. This is another so not really San Francisco sellers, right? So I guess there's some air. Cal Quantrill is not very good. You could maybe stack up San Francisco cheaply here. I don't love the park. I think they win this game. I think San Francisco is kind of an easy bet here. I think Logan Webb is just serviceable enough. But Logan Webb is not at 9.5. It's just not a DFS darling. He's the SP2 of the, it's the second price guy, and I technically a guy you could feel good about in Globe Life. But Texas doesn't really strike out. And now you're going against a team like a pitcher that like, the name of the game for him is just to allow like weak contact. So like, I think it's a little scary. I mean, I guess if I had to choose between Webb and Schiller, it would still be Cam Schiller just because I feel like Cam brings so much strikeout upside.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this will be mostly a void spot for me. I do think San Francisco's sneaky, though, because they're selling everybody. So you're going to get a cheap lineup. But, like, they're selling everybody. To me, that makes your team worse, right? Like, so it's like, yeah, there will be value. But, like, I think overall it's like just they become worse plays. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I think you can play Logan Webb. You can't play Cal Control. I think you can play the Giants. So,
yeah, Rafi D, right? Rafi's hitting the ball really well again. Just the best. Don't play the San Francisco without playing Rafi D there.
Yeah.
So definitely interested. Cal Contra had these starts, like last start, 26 DraftKings points. That's pretty impressive. He's been a little bit better than I thought. So maybe avoid that. But, man, with Texas healthy on the other side, I'm just going to avoid Webb. I think people will just go there because they see the Rangers. But now they're very healthy. Langford's back. Seager's back. Like, Nemo's obviously hard out. So it's going to be a hard lineup for him to get through. And like you said, he's a pitch-to-contact pitcher. And some of these guys are going to give him some work. So I'm not playing Webb. I definitely – he's not going to make any of my builds. I'm pretty confident in that. So – it's going to be, maybe San Francisco mini stack or pass in this game. I don't have the confidence to play the Rangers just because I do believe like Webb's a good enough ground ball pitcher to get some weak contact, but I definitely don't want to play him. I just don't think he has a lot of upside in the spot. And I could actually be talking to a little bit of a Rangers contrarian stack, but I can't build two I can't play Rangers and Cardinals. It just doesn't make sense in this slate. So it's just going to be a pass game more than likely. But if I got one or two San Francisco pieces that are cheap, Rafi at first base isn't a bad play at mid-4s. So I don't know really where I line in this game, but it's going to be a mostly pass. Definitely not going to be playing Webb, though. I just think the Rangers are a pesky team right now, looking to win that division, getting healthy. Whenever Seager, Langford, Nemo, guys in their lineup, it's just going to be – they're going to be hard outs at the top.
Yeah, it's like the offense is getting better there, but all their pitchers are sucking. Like Evaldi, DeGrom, everyone's kind of falling apart there.
They're old, and it's not surprising, right? You see these guys I love Evaldi. I love DeGrom. Man, DeGrom with the Mets was just like a mythical fighter. I mean, he was so good. He was so dang good. One of the best I'd ever seen at the height of his powers. DeGrom.
Yeah. I looked up that stat. I think DeGrom is like his peak was higher than most guys ever peak, right? Yeah. So like, cool. Yeah, and nothing else from this game. I do like Texas. I'm rooting for Texas here. I have some Texas best ball shares, so I would like them to get on the horse today. I won't be playing a ton of it in DFS. So. Next game on the docket, we have the Dodgers going to Chicago. We have Justin Robleski on the mound for the Dodgers versus Matthew Boyd for Chicago. This is another, like, even with these offenses, this is a pitch or a pass game for me. Like, Robleski, I don't believe in, so I won't be playing him. He's more of like a pitch to contact guy, doesn't have a bunch of strikeout, but like he's a serviceable enough pitcher. Like, I don't know where he's going to fit in the rotation with Tariq there. I think he'll still be in, like, he'll be like the 5 guy. And Boyd has been in his own right, but like both offenses are just like pesky at this point. Like Chicago's getting more bodies in the lineup here, and it just Boyd. Like if this was anybody but the Dodgers, I would really have interest in Boyd. Boyd's looked really good, but at 9K and 8.3, these are like two of the top 4 best pitchers, technically speaking. And I just feel like you can't really consider either. Like both guys, I think this is like a 5-6 game, 7-4, something in that range, where it's like pitchers do okay, like not good enough, and yeah, just add those prices. Not super interested.
Well, if it's 7-4, it's going way over the total, and you might want some bats. But if I was picking a side in bats here, I actually looked at the Cubs. I want to stack them a little bit. I think Bregman's looking better lately at the plate. But the Cubs are a team I do want to stack against righties more than lefties. I don't really love Robleski. Obviously, I picked on him with Seattle the other day and really worked out. I think it was 5 home runs in that game on the Seattle side. So I can be talking to the Cubs here, but like I said, I want them more against righties and lefties. So if I had to prioritize any bat in this game, maybe I want a mini Cub stack, lower owned. It'd be Bregman. It'd be, Carson Kelly, Miguel Amaya, someone in that range. More of the righties there. Probably wouldn't be paying up for PCA against Robleski here. But yeah, Robleski's kind of a paper tiger. Doesn't strike guys out, so it gives up a lot of contact. I'll have to dive in deeper to see if they're allowing a lot of base runners and stolen bases. But PCA has been a little bit more hesitant lately, so I just don't know if he's worth the price tag as he was early in the season when he was actually running a little bit more. So it's like you said, it's going to be a pass game. Matthew Boyd hasn't been as good this year either. But I whenever I have the Dodgers on the slate and I can find a reason to fade them, I'm going to fade them. Once again, I think they're better against righties than lefties. Another lefty on the mound here. So you could talk me into Teoscar, Pages, some of the righties here. I know Rushing's dealing with a little something. as far as injuries is concerned. But it's just a team I'm not gonna prioritize. Just hopefully the wind's slightly in, very wind sensitive ballpark. We know that it's pretty much net neutral today. But yeah, just gonna be in a void spot altogether. No pitchers, no bats. And if there is bats, if you see me with a Bregman and a 111, don't be surprised, because I do like Bregman a whole lot, heating up. Robleski is prone to giving up some decent contact. And if that ball leaves the park, it's most likely one of the righties here for the Cubs. Bregman, Kelly, one of these guys. So that's all I have in this game. If you want to get a cheap shortstop who I have high exposure to in best ball, Swanson's not a bad click either.
Yeah. So the reason I say it's like a 7-4 game, I just don't think is valuable here because of the prices of the players on both sides, right? Like
that's fair.
It's like Shohei, PCA, like these guys, even like Freddie, like everyone's expensive. It's like a 7-4 game. Is that enough, right? Potentially in a 7-game slate, that is the merit. Like 7-point runs could be the highest scoring team on the slate. So like in the event that plays out, but still, it's like, dude, they're super expensive, and I just it's tough to build. So I just think Tampa's in objectively a better spot. Let's go to Houston. This is actually a good offensive environment tonight. And it's weird because, Shane Bieber used to be my boy, but no longer my boy. So we have Toronto visiting Houston. We have Shane Bieber on the mound for Toronto, and then Christian Javier on the mound for Houston. I would have interest in Javier if he was stretched out a little bit more. In his last start, 27 fantasy points, but put 70 pitches. I think that was like the longest he's been since the beginning of April. So like it's been a while.
It's against the Angels, right? The fantasy points coming.
It's so thin, and like Toronto doesn't strike out a lot. I like at 7-5, like if it's a toss up between him and King, I just lean towards King because I think Arizona strikes out. Arizona does strike out more than Toronto does. And Shane Bieber's also been bad. This is another like go back to Houston spot, like Isaac Paredes, Jordan Alvarez, Pena's been smoking the ball. Canna Smith. I really like Houston here. Houston will make a build for me. I think I could attack Shane Bieber. I love playing Houston at home too, so that's kind of what I do. They're expensive, but you have to prioritize their stack. I can always throw Jordan in there because Jordan is just like he's a key to the offense, right? Usually when they put up a big number, he's involved in some capacity of putting up like the 15 to 35 fantasy points, so you want him. No really interest in Toronto. Like I'm pulling for Varsha. I want these guys to do well for best ball, but like they're not a fantasy friendly team. Okamoto's been great for me as an infielder, but like they're really hard to stack this season. Like Vlad's kind of had a down year. Like there's a lot of like fringe players in the lineup. And with that, they just got a Jose Soriano, which is interesting for pitcher. They're bolstering the pitcher.
Which is weird. Like, what are you doing? You shipped off Gosman and you got Soriano?
Jose Soriano's been better, but I
think just make it make sense, though. Like, I don't understand. Like, you sell and you buy in. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Gosman was part of the reason that team was so good and made a World Series run. It's just he's a good veteran presence to have in that rotation at the front end. Soriano is not going to offer that, so I just don't really understand. And I think they're pretty much counting themselves out for the World Series this year, and that's kind of feels like what they're doing. Maybe they're looking more towards the future. Obviously, Soriano has a little bit of youth on Gosman there, so maybe that's the tell. But I don't know. In this is a game where I could see absolutely shooting out. Javier's underlying numbers are absolutely horrendous. I know he's good against the Angels, but everyone's good against the Angels. Let's be honest. So this is a game where I wouldn't be surprised if this game is very high scoring. I don't know what I'm going to do. I do obviously have a slight lean to the road team and the Blue Jays here, but it's just better for righties. And like, do you really want to pay up for Vlad? He just hasn't shown any power this year. It'd be Okamoto would be the guy you really want to get in here. Crawford box is there. Maybe lift a couple out. He always has that 2 home run upside as well. So maybe the Blue Jays are interesting. As you mentioned, Houston's been really good lately. They love his home ballpark. You can't forget about your boy Paredes if you're going to play a stack here. So, and like you said, Cam Smith's heating up. He's a guy that does run a little bit as well. So, both teams are interesting. I don't know what I'm fully going to do with this game, but both stacks are in play. I'm going to see where my lineups end. I'm happy to get pieces on both sides of this game, though.
Yeah, it's just for me, Toronto just this season haven't really done enough like on any slate to be like, hey, this team won either tournament. Like Okamoto will have a home run or two, but it's just like the rest of the team is like it's really tough to get a one-off guy. And I think Okamoto is a good one-off, but Vlad just DFS perspective has been great. George Springer is like okay now. Like Varso's like having a horrible season. So the A side for me would be Houston. I'd bet Houston here. And I don't have much faith in Javier either. It's just maybe less faith. So less faith in the Toronto offense. Let's get to the premier spot in the slate. It's the Colorado game. So we have Ian Seymour on the mound for Tampa Bay, and then Michael Lorenzo on the mound for Colorado. I think me and you both like Ian Seymour here. There's some concern. Yeah, there's some concern like him pitching in cores, but Colorado is like I think they're another seller, right? They haven't been very good this season. I mean, we've done this in the past. I played guys like Cade Cavalli. You can get an Ian Seymour 6'9", put up 25 plus points in the spot, in my opinion, right? Like if you can avoid
the lines are so good. any sharp player, this is not going to sneak by them, but Ian Seymour is objectively too cheap on this slate.
Yeah.
I definitely like the lefties here against the Rockies lineup. The biggest concern in this game is just the weather. Like, I think there's a little bit of rain around, and if it gets delayed, Seymour's just going to die there and just not come back in. That's a concern, but I think at 6'9", he's easily SP2 for me. Just locked in on every team.
Yeah, nearly 30% strikeout rate makes it fun. What did Ross say about the weather? I'm just looking at it now.
It just looks like maybe some rain around. We'll know closer to lock whether it's going to be an issue or not. I'm not super concerned. Definitely going to be playing Tampa. Obviously, the bats. No reason to tell you otherwise. It's blowing in course, so maybe you're like, well, that affects a little bit. But these guys, Caminero, Yandy, Aranda, all guys, these guys hit it out in the wind regardless. And this is just a part that we know plays up to power. So
yeah,
not concerned there one bit. Just whoever's in the lineup for the.
Oh, it's just yellow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on Tampa. Whoever plays, Chandler Simpson, I like. Mesa, I'll stack up whoever is in the lineup on the Tampa side. Lorenzen's just not good. They're just throwing arms in there at this point. He's a big leaguer, so like he's made it, but yeah, it sucks. You have to pitch in Coors, and he's just not a good pitcher.
Got an elite right arm. Hits the gym very hard. Lorenzen. Yeah. I mean, he'll always have that feather in his cap. He's an absolute unit on the mound.
Yeah.
So respect to that. But other than that, that right hand doesn't do damage with the baseball.
So. No, it doesn't. But yeah, Tampa Bay is the top. I think Caminero is the best individual player in the slate. Like he's a guy, and I like to get guys like Caminero and Yandy a lot more because they're at positions where like you can't replace that production, right? Like to me, it's like when I'm fading Coors, I'm like when I'm not playing Coors guys, I'm trying to avoid like the outfield spots because like 20 points or like 16 points in the outfield can be replaced and like you can win that position with a different guy. Like. But like if Caminero puts up 35 points or Yandy puts up 27 points, like it's gonna be because you're getting them at onesies position. So I like those guys a lot. Those are like two of my favorite bats. And I'll play like whoever's playing at shortstop, maybe Walls or Williamson. I prefer Williamson.
I mentioned this to you as well, though. It's really tough to my three favorite bats are gonna be Yandy, Caminero, and Aranda, but you can only play two of the three.
Yeah.
So I wish you could get like Aranda like a second base. It would be so sneaky, but just not this season. So yeah, I don't know who I'm gonna preference over, definitely Caminero just has that double home run upside. The best bat there in that lineup. So probably want to lean him, even though he's 6'8". And I'm kind of leaning towards Aranda just for the platoon matchup versus Lorenzen. But I could be torn on either side of that. But yeah, just play Tampa in this spot. There's a good chance they score 7+ runs. You want to have them in this game.
Yeah, to me, it's just like 7-game slate. It feels like they're pretty clearly like they're clearly the best bet to score the most runs. And if they do, it's like, and you get say you have a secondary St. Louis stack, like, you can win a tournament that way. Like, I just feel like leaving off Tampa feels kind of thin tonight. But they'll be on. So there's like, tournament tactic there. But I think you're getting enough tournament tactic playing St. Louis anyways, so I don't think you need to totally consider it elsewhere. Last game, dude, 7 games. So it's a short slate today. I think the big Tuesday slates are crazy. Oh, also, dude, there's your tournament September 1st. It's like the $1 million to first flagship for baseball.
Size was entry.
$3,000.
I'm tempted.
Yeah.
What's the player? I mean, the contestant pool. Like, what's the size?
Let me pull it up real fast. But okay, while I pull it up, let me see.
We'll talk about this game. So right now we have King on the mound. For the Padres, and then we have Fat on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Fat's been really good lately. The problem with Fat is he's really improved his underlyings. Without the strikeouts coming along. He was a guy I played last season where he could have 10 strikeouts, but now the strikeouts are down and he's just kind of getting weaker contact. So I don't really love that from a DFS perspective. No. And then San Diego's hot right now. So like they're not a team I really want to pick on as I was a couple months ago. So I don't know if I'm going to play him in this spot, but he's definitely worth a look at SP2. It has been a little bit better. This park is kind of, when they put the Humidor in there a couple years ago, it kind of played the power down a little bit. I wish that wasn't the case, but yeah, I could be talked to bats on either side here. But if King's on the mound, that's fine. That's on the mound, that's fine. I could totally see an SP2 being valuable in this game. I just don't see any upside for either guy.
Yeah, I think King, to me, it feels like somewhat safer 15 to 20 here. Like Arizona's like the top half of that lineup's good, but like Moreno, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, like the rest of the guys, like to me, are just not very good, Dylan.
And that's why Seymour is such a good play because at 6'9", like he can strike out 10.
Yeah, King will get there. King will get there by going 6 innings, 4 Ks, 1 earned run, right? Like that's how he gets. And I think that's an okay, and gets the win. I do have some interest in San Diego against Fott. Like Fott is like at his worst, he gives up like he's a multi-homer a game guy, and like he's a highly inconsistent pitcher too. So like that's the profiles I like to target, like guys, and like he's been good lately, but like that's not Fod is not a consistently.
But we knew when he came up 2 years ago, he was a decent prospect. So like, is he figuring it out, or is it just a good run, a good stretch?
Yeah, and it's not even, but like he's not even striking guys out. It's not like he's been phenomenal. It's just like I don't know how, and I haven't seen every one of the Fod games, and I don't know how much of it is just like positive BABIP, but like. Yeah, I do like San Diego. I like Jake Cronenworth. Obviously, he's a cheap second baseman you can throw in. Jackson Merrill's a guy down that I'm super high on, and obviously I like him for best ball. But like he's hitting the ball well. I think he hit another home run yesterday. He's heating up. He's a guy like if he gets hot, like you kind of want to ride that. And then obviously Tatis. So I do have interest in San Diego. I think again they're going to be low owned. They're not going to be a premier offensive target on the slate, but I think there's some interest there for sure.
We just look at the biggest change for Fat. Just go to Statcast, and that's what we use. And sometimes we'll share that on the screen. I just don't want to slow it down today, but we're looking at the underlyings. The biggest change from his prior seasons to this season is just the ground ball rate is substantially higher. He's the 81st percentile in ground ball rate, but with that, his K and whip percentage is down. So now it's just more evident he's pitching the contact, and he is getting weaker contact and more ground balls. So that is a boon for him. He's walking less guys as well, which helps him. And that's not DFS friendly, right? Like at his price, that's fine. It's okay, we'll say. But you just don't really love that profile on DFS. Like, could he get lucky and have 6 innings of 2-run ball and get the win potentially? But there's also a lot of risk with San Diego heating up. So it's a tough game to really cap for me. Maybe it's an under bet, right? I just do think the game could go under. Both pitchers are getting, more or less soft contact. So maybe it's a game where you're like, you know what? Both pitchers don't have DFS upside, but could be sprinkled for SP2s.
Interesting.
I see with San Diego. I know you like San Diego, and Jackson Merrill finally is swinging a hot bat. And he's a guy like, I'm in love with Wyatt Langford. But these young guys, that you really want to catch them when they're hot and they're seeing the ball well. He's healthy, he runs. So when that bat's hot, just keep riding while it's hot. And
there's just guys in the lineup that I feel like are fairly cheap that you can play, like Jackson Merrill, Campensado at catcher, who's been like really good as a hitting catcher this season, and then like Jake Cronenworth. There's just like interesting cheap pieces I kind of want to go after. And it's you don't need it, right? Like there's plenty of spots to get to. I think there's just value. Like when I'm 5-man stack in Tampa, I'm looking for value, but in a spot that I feel like could go off. I think San Diego's one of those spots where I feel like you can get some cheap guys back towards the top of the order that have shown, offensive upside. Then we were talking. So that's it for the 7-gamer today. We'll get after it. We'll see how things shake out. The ultimate main event that I was talking about is so it's September 1st. Starts at 7:40. It is 1,300 people, million to first. So $3,000 buy-in, which is interesting.
It's just this is an important night to keep an eye on lineups, right? So just looking at some of the news that might be relevant to today's slate. I like St. Louis as a very contrarian stack in the slate, but it looks like Alec Burleson's one of the best bats in the market right now. So there's some potential he gets. I really hope St. Louis doesn't do that. Where ECU guys. I like Burley there.
I saw someone tweet this morning that he went to Cleveland. That Alec Burleson's heading to Cleveland.
That's going to help your Cleveland. Listen, so
I don't know, it's just like it's tough. Like Kyle Manzaro's been.
No, dude, if Alec Burleson goes to Cleveland, your World Series future on Cleveland looks way. So just full transparency, Taylor hit a Thor winner yesterday in PGA. Back 9, amazing. But that combined with the Cleveland World Series, that's if Burleson goes there, they have a bona fide star. And Burleson's so good at just putting the ball in play too. Just low strikeout rate, very good bat profile. Yeah, I would
These are guys that they're looking to target. So Heliot Ramos. I feel like Chase Lauder's been good. I don't know if we need Mickey Moniak, another guy like I feel okay about. These are all guys that potentially go to Cleveland. Taylor Ward, I don't hate that. I do like Taylor Ward. This guy may be my favorite.
Taylor Ward and Burleson would just fill that team out and make them a real contender in the AL.
But this is the guy I want the most is Kyle Stowers. I love Kyle Stowers, and also like I have a bunch of Kyle Stowers best ball, so I would like him to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, that ought to be said. Like, just keep an eye on lineups and see what's going on tonight because you want to.
That's what I mentioned.
It's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a busy day in the sports world. As far as MLB concerned, up and down, not trade. Just see who's in the lineup, and like I said, I'm gonna target the Cardinals in this 111 just to get some contrarian, stacks in there tonight. But I'll probably lose. But if St. Louis is the team you want on the slate, look at the top of the leaderboard. I'll be up there.
Yeah, St. Louis is interesting. What I was gonna say is those pitchers like King could potentially get moved. There's some pitchers on the mound today that could get moved before the deadline. Obviously, keep an eye on that. You'll get news though. You'll get news. The deadline. When's the deadline?
The deadline's today.
No, but what time?
Let me just pull it up real fast.
I want to say it's like 5 o'clock. I thought it was like middle of the day. Maybe not though.
Let's see. 6 p.m. tonight. So we'll know. All this will be done, and everyone the lineups will be out, and there won't be any issue before the lock. So that's good to know.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Right, man. I got a 12:30 here shortly. But thanks for
12:15, so I'm right in front of you.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for chopping up. We'll be back to break down baseball tomorrow. Bigger slate. Good luck tonight. If I don't win, I hope you do, Taylor. I hope you come in second place so I can rub it in your face. But other than that,
dude.
Best of luck, everyone. We'll be back to chop it up tomorrow.
Yep. Good luck, folks. All right. See you.